Hi guys, I'm Hugo and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making the best ever vegan bolognese. This recipe is so amazing. It's rich, tomatoey, and packed full of that lovely umami flavoring. And the best thing is it's completely natural. There's no added meat replacements or additives. It's just whole food goodness. Trust me, this recipe is a winner. So let's just jump into it. So the first thing you want to do is roughly slice 500 grams of chestnut mushrooms. Now these slices don't have to be super even, so don't worry too much about it. Then what you want to do is place these mushrooms into a food processor, and you're going to pulse these until they reach this kind of fibrous, pulpy texture, just like that. And then you're going to place 150 grams of walnuts into the same blender and just pulse again until you reach this semi-crumb-like texture. And then just pour in half of the chestnut mushrooms. And you're just going to pulse that just to combine the mushrooms and the walnuts. And now the rest of the mushrooms in, and you just want to blend until the mushrooms and the walnuts combine into this sticky, moist, biscuity texture. And just leave that on the side while we proceed on to the next step. So we're going to make our sofrito here, which is 2 carrots, 2 celery sticks, 2 onions, and 2 cloves of garlic. You're just going to finely chop all of these, but again, don't worry too much about how evenly you chop all the stuff because it's going to go into the food processor in a sec. But after all the chopping, it should look a little bit like that. You're going to place all of the mixture into the food processor again and just pulse until you get a little bit finer cubes of the vegetables. So you're going to take a deep, large pan and place 2 tablespoons of olive oil into it. And you want to tip your mushroom mixture into the pan. And we're going to heat these mushrooms over a medium-high heat. Place the lid on the pan and cook for around 5 minutes or so. After about 5 minutes, the mushrooms should be nicely cooked and reduced down. And you just want to stir the mushrooms to get rid of any of that excess moisture. Pour in 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 100 ml of red wine, and we're just going to reduce that mixture down further, just so the mushrooms get nice and caramelized. Then once those mushrooms are ready, you're just going to take them out and reserve them into a large mixing bowl. So the next stage is we're going to cook our sofrito. So you want to heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the same pan we cooked the mushrooms with, then just tip in your vegetable mixture. And we're just going to place a lid on that and just cook that at a low heat for around 5 to 6 minutes. And after that time, your vegetables should be nice and soft like this. And then we want to add some spices to the vegetables. So we're going to add 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of red chili flakes, 2 teaspoons of oregano, and 2 teaspoons of sugar. And then just give that a mix. And we're just going to cook that. And after about a minute, we're going to tip in 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And then again, just stir, and we're going to cook off for a couple of minutes. And then you want to add your mushrooms into the pan and just stir to combine. And pour in 2 cans of plum tomatoes. I recommend crushing these tomatoes with your hands just before pouring in, so there's no large piece of tomatoes in your bolognese mix. After giving your bolognese a few stirs, we're going to heat this to high and bring it to the boil. And then just turn it down to a simmer and place a lid on top. We're going to leave that for about 30 minutes to cook. And while the bolognese is cooking, we're just going to prepare 100 grams of lentils with a bay leaf, an onion sliced in 2, and 500 ml of stock. You just want to bring that to the boil and then place a lid on, and we're going to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. And at this point, it should be relatively al dente lentils. We're just going to strain that out and pick out all the onion pieces and then just place back into the pan. And at this point, hopefully your bolognese should be reduced down. It's looking pretty good. And then you want to just tip in your lentils into the bolognese mixture and just mix it. Add your seasoning, just your pepper, and place the lid back on, and we're going to cook for another 10 minutes or so. And while that's happening, we're just going to prep the pasta. Heat a large deep pan with salted boiling water and just place your pasta of choice inside and just cook for packet instructions. And then we're going to drain some of the pasta water into a small jug before you drain the whole of the pasta out. And once the pasta is drained, just put it back into the pan and save it for when the bolognese sauce is ready. And hopefully at this point your bolognese sauce should look something like this, like a meaty, reduced, delicious mess. Yep, it looks pretty damn good. Okay, so now we're going to move on to plating. You just want to tip the pasta into a large mixing bowl, and you're going to pour over 1 ladle of the bolognese sauce and a couple tablespoons of the pasta water, and just mix that pasta with the bolognese to evenly incorporate. And then take a plate and a couple of the scoops of the pasta and just ladle over some extra bolognese and add a smattering of chopped parsley over the top. I like to finish off with some nutritional yeast. And that is done. Now time to tuck in.
Okay, so there you have it, the best ever vegan bolognese recipe. A full recipe link is in the description below. If you have any comments or feedback, put them in the comments section and I'll be sure to get back to you. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button and be sure to subscribe for more vegan recipes weekly. Thanks again and see you next time. I'm gonna enjoy this pasta now because I'm pretty hungry.